Hi guys. Okay, we're gonna give this a shot. Today I'm gonna go over a quick and easy tutorial on Amazon MTurk. I have a janky setup right now. I'm almost like MacGyver the way I got my cell phone camera rigged and all of this. So let's give this a try and see what happens. Okay, what is MTurk? MTurk is my answer to, you know when people say, if I had a nickel every time somebody said this or every time somebody said that, this is my answer to how you can actually get your nickels. Because basically it's a site that allows you to do tasks for essentially change. You're going to do tasks like surveys. You can transcribe videos or audio, which I find take way too long, but that's just me. You can play little games, simple games, things like that, and you get paid change. You can get paid anywhere from 1 penny to a couple of dollars. But keep in mind, the money adds up. So, I heard about this by watching other YouTube videos and I wanted to give it a try. I wanted to see for myself what was possible. So I started off by just giving myself a simple goal. I said, I'm gonna do a few MTurks, and you see right here, it stands for Amazon Mechanical Turk, and you can Google that to find it. It's basically connected to an Amazon account. And, you know, it's really simple to sign up and get started. You may need a few days to get verified, but once that's done, you're all set to go. So my first goal when I decided to try this was, let me see what it would take to make enough money to pay my smallest bill. My smallest bill being Netflix at about $8 a month. So I went in and I gave it a shot, and I found, wow, it was really simple to make $8. I was able to make $8 in a day. And I decided I'm a great multitasker. So I actually do it while I'm like watching TV or doing things that I consider unproductive. It kind of made me feel great about being unproductive. Like I was actually being productive during my time of unproductivity and being a couch potato. So in less than a day, boom, make $8. So I stepped my goal up. My next goal became, let me do this and make at least an average of $5 a day. $5 a day of making change. Very easy to do. And with doing this, this made me bring in an average of $150 a month. $150 that I decided to apply to my mortgage. And here's the thing, with the extra $150 applied to my mortgage, that actually can knock off 2.5 years on the life of my mortgage, saving close to $26,000 in interest. So that right there made MTurkin, which is what I call it, worth it. So let me go through a quick tutorial on how to do this. I don't have any extra add-ins. I don't have any extra what is it called? Apps downloaded to my computer, because my computer is really low on memory, hence why I can't use it to record anything. So I basically do this just on the website. So when you come to the website, the first thing I do is I open up 2 sessions of this application. So just open it up again. Boom, boom, boom. The reason why I do that is because you're going to notice when you start taking surveys, some surveys actually ask you to put in your MTurk ID. So I like to keep one page up on my dashboard. And I'm signed in as a worker right now. So I like to keep one page up of my dashboard because this is the number that a lot of surveys ask for. And then this is the page, hits, is the page where I will actually find surveys to do. The second thing I do, and it keeps your defaults. The second thing I do is I sort the results by reward amount first. This is going to sort it by what pays the most first. Now, don't get excited by these numbers over here, because you see how this says this one pays $100, this one pays $62. I don't even know if you can see this stuff. Well, anyways, this one pays $54. But guess what? You're not qualified to do all of the surveys or all of the tasks that's found here. Qualification, you usually get more qualified with the more number of hits. These tasks are called hits. The more hits you do, the more qualifications you get. I don't know how many hits you have to do. I hear it's about 1,000. I'm not there yet. It could be 1,059,999 before you have like top master kung fu qualification level. So the second thing I do, well, the third thing is I go ahead and I filter based on what I am qualified to do. And then I hit go. Boom. That knocks us down back to reality. This first one here, you see, it pays $9, but this is an audio transcription, 28 minutes. That's pretty long to be just transcribing audio. I did an audio transcription for one time. I transcribed audio one time. It was like 3 minutes worth of audio. It took me about an hour to do that sucker. So I stay away from audio transcribing, and I feel like I'm a pretty good fast typist. So with that being said, I feel like you kind of go into this thing knowing your standards. And sometimes you don't really know your standards until you start doing the task and you realize what you like, what you don't like. So sometimes you have to give everything a shot. I don't like transcribing. So that's one thing I don't like. The other thing I don't like, I don't do anything that requires me to install anything on my computer. Again, this is Amazon, a pretty trusted source. However, all of the requesters, I say, doesn't mean you can trust them all. Like, you know, spam and things like that happens in anywhere. So I stay away from anything that wants me to download an app or download something to my device. Another thing I try to stay away from, I try to stay away from a lot of writing. A lot of times it's because I do this at night and I just really don't have the brain space to be trying to come up with a lot of writing. So I stay away from a lot of essays. And I also try to only do things that I can do in under 20 minutes. Because I do this while watching TV, something that could take 5 minutes may take me a little longer because sometimes I'm not fully engaged, but you know, it's all good. It works well for me. So on this first page, let us see. On this first page, all right, let me show you something. This one here says earn up to $5 for purchasing behavior, right? And sometimes you're going to find that when you hit something, you get this. All that means is that the requester either put in a certain number of workers they wanted and they reached that limit, or they put in a certain amount of money they're willing to pay out and they reach that limit. Why Amazon is also very trusted is because when you're a requester, you have to deposit the money in your requester account first to show that you actually have the money to pay the workers, right? So when you see that, don't be discouraged. Just keep looking. Sometimes I find if you're not fast on hitting one of these things, all the good ones are taken immediately. See, 2-part survey about your opinions. Also, I ignore all of these things here. Everything that says like this gives you the time allowed at 1 hour and 15 minutes. This gives you 10 minutes. 10 minutes is usually a good one because that means that you can probably do this in under 5 minutes. But I don't speak Chinese, so that won't work. But I ignore this. This just tells you what the maximum time they're giving you to do it until before it will time out. If something says 30 minutes, that's good to pay attention to because you really don't have room to lollygag by watching TV or getting up and doing other things because that time will run out on you. All right, that one's done too. Let me go over to page 2. When I'm reading these, somebody mentioned that there's a lot of things that says by invitation only. That is true. But you know what I found out? As I do these surveys, I'm actually getting personal invitations in my email inbox where requesters are requesting me to do one of these. And they'll tell you what to go look for. And that's a lot of these are like by invitation. I've done several by invitation only ones because I was actually invited just because I previously done one of their surveys before, and I don't know. I was randomly selected in a draw. Maybe I did a good job. Individual experiences that pays $1. All right. Now, when I look at this, a lot of times I find that if it pays $1, it may take you more than 30 minutes to do. A lot of times they will give you some indication within this of what the average time takes. This one's saying 25 minutes. I'm watching a good show. I may do this for 25 minutes. It's all good. Yeah, so a lot of times you can read this. They say pre-screening. If you try to pre-guess the answers to pre-screening, not saying you should or shouldn't do this, you can usually find hints in here of what they're looking for. Like if this was a survey that says, this is a survey about smoking, and then they say pre-screening, of course, when they start asking questions about do you smoke, they're probably looking for a yes. I also find sometimes in the pre-screening, they're looking for a certain age group. Some age groups are more popular than other age groups. I find 30 years old to be a good, safe age group that usually always qualifies. A lot of times they may ask for a birthday. So if you were 30 or whatever your age is, know a birthday offhand, what year that is. A lot of times while doing a survey, they may try to throw you off by asking attention getter questions, because I imagine that a lot of people can go through surveys because your answers, who really cares at the end of the day? There's nobody to sit there and say you gave a wrong answer or you gave a true answer. So I imagine that some people probably just go through and click. And so to prevent people from click, they sometimes throw in attention getters that say something like, if you're reading this question, pick strongly agree. And you do that. So sometimes they have like instructional pieces of information. And I'm actually not going to click on this because I may try to go ahead and do this one later when I'm actually doing this for real. I find the 50-cent surveys to be usually a good benchmark. And so I just went ahead and clicked to like page 5 so I can jump to like 50-cent surveys. Because usually people don't even go past these pages. So a lot of times the 50-cent surveys and 60 cents, whatever, they're usually there. They're usually not already done. So when you click them, they're usually still available for you to do. And I find that a lot of times they take, all right, that one wasn't available. I find a lot of times they don't take long to do at all. I have taken surveys in under 2 minutes. I have taken some that were 5 minutes. Those are the ones I like because I can knock them out really quick before I get tired of reading questions. Look at this one. This one says wine study is under 5 minutes. It's not purple, so that means I haven't clicked on this before. So I'm going to save this for later so that I can do this later. I want to click on something. See, this is probably a game right here because it says associations game, 10 minutes. This is the stuff I look for to do. 75 cents for under 10 minutes. That's what I look for. What I'm trying to look for now is something that I don't want to do. I want to click on something that I don't want to do. Sharing on Facebook, must be a Facebook user. I've done surveys like this before. A lot of times they want you to just... sometimes they want you to do screenshots that don't give any identifying information, but sometimes they just want you to type in real responses from Facebook, like what was the last Facebook status you made, and you'd say what the status was, and then they'll ask you stuff like, how did you feel about it? I felt happy, I felt good. They're really easy. These things are so easy, it's crazy. See, 8 minutes academic. Yep, I'm going to try to do that one later. Let me go back to the first page, on the second page, because I know that I don't want to do some of these things. But this one says, oh, see, test our website before launch takes 2 minutes. I normally don't do those because sometimes they want you to download something. If they do, it normally tells you right here if they want you to download something. But to do this survey, you will hit accept. You would accept this hit. Sometimes I run into things that the whole survey will pop up in the screen, and then I would find that this little submit button wouldn't be there, and all I would simply do in that case is go down here and I would hit this broken link, And then I will work on this hit link again, and it usually resets everything where I can submit. I'm just saying that because I ran into that a lot, and I know like some other people probably run into that and think that their time was wasted because they can't figure out how to get out of that thing. All right, so this says link the test. Click this link right here. So normally the thing will open up in another browser, right? So supposedly I'm testing this link, blah, blah, blah. And sometimes it's just looking at it, and you just look at it and read it and see what you want, see instantly if you qualify below. Normally there's no real clicking around that you really have to do. And then when you're finished, a lot of times, you would have to do some stuff on that things. And then when you finish, it'll give you a completion code, but this one's not even asking for a completion code. And then you will submit it. But guess what? If you go ahead and accept it, as you see I did, but then you decide, I don't want to do this after all you got to do is click this, return this hit, and you will not be penalized for doing that. Let me see. So that's that page right there. And my throat is all dry all of a sudden. Let me go to my dashboard. I started doing this I started experimenting this around the middle of February. So as you can see, since then, I've already made $294. And this is my average. I try to do an average of $5 a day. As you see, April, I'm really sucking because I've been really entertaining myself in the evenings and going places a lot. So I haven't been home watching TV to really do anything. But look at this one right here. This one, $2. I did that one yesterday. This one took me like under 11 minutes to do for $2. And as we see, it's approved and pending payment. So what that means is that this number you see right here does not include that $2 just yet, but it will include it at any point, because the request is when you submit your survey or whatever task you're working on, they can almost like grade your homework to see if you followed instructions, and they actually get 30 days to do that. So the payers can take up to 30 days to pay you. I find on average, you're normally paid within the same day that you complete a task. But sometimes I think for me, it's taken maybe up to 7 days. But it's all good because that tells you right there, like, you know, you will constantly, like, this number will constantly change even when you're not sitting here actively working. Like, for instance, so right now we see this. Down here, we see that I've done 501 hits since the middle of February. 496 of them were approved. I got 0 rejected. Now, mind you, I don't have any extra apps downloaded into my browser because they have those available to help you spot which are fake, which is real, what's spam, what's not, who's a good requester, who to stay away from. I've done all of this basically just eyeing and using deductive reasoning. So none of mine have been rejected. Even when I found that I had discrepancies, or I felt I had a discrepancy when I submitted something, like for instance, sometimes I've actually forgot to put in my code or whatever, I just shoot the people an email, and everybody has been super responsive in getting back to me. We see that I have 5 that's still pending payment, right? So we see that that's 4 right here, 4 right here still pending payment. And if I view more, this shows you your last 45 days. We see this one right here that I done on April 12th is still pending payment, which is all good. When you drill into this, you can see which one. And let's say if I was pressed, or what I told you before, I said I did one and I submitted it wrong, I just shoot them an email. When you hit this right here, it gives you the little box that you can send them an email. And everybody who I've submitted emails to have been super responsive. And some of them be like, oh, I'm sorry, that must be a bug. We're going to pay you anyway. And then also you see right here, this is bonuses. What this means is, and I love bonuses, sometimes you do surveys that give you bonuses, and sometimes they're like random things. Like they had one where they wanted us to flip a coin, like flip fake coins on the computer screen. And then it was like, for every coin that lands on heads, we're going to give you 5 extra cents. So that's how you get, those are what the bonuses are. They're super random. Sometimes they want you to pick fake stock. And if you happen to luckily pick whatever they felt was going to make a profit, they'll give you a bonus. And on one of those, I actually made an $11 bonus that's going to be paid out, I think, in 6 months. It's going to be paid into my account because they want to simulate like a real stock experience. So that was pretty cool. Let me open up something. Let me open up something else. Okay. So as you see on these, I said I want to do an average of $5 a day. Sometimes I do $1.50 a day. On this day, I did $8.25 a day. It took me 12 tasks to make $8.25. On this day, I did 13 tasks. I made $7.70. On this day, I did 6 and made $5. On this day, I did 9 and made about $5. So I would say on average, I've been averaging about $5 a day. And it's super easy getting paid. When you're ready to cash out, see, I've cashed out all of this money already. You just hit transfer earnings. When you hit transfer earnings, you have 2 options. You can either cash it out to your bank account, or you can cash it out to Amazon, where they will give you Amazon credit, and then you can use it while shopping on Amazon. That's about it, guys. If you guys have any questions, shoot me, I would say email, but you don't have my email address. Leave a comment if you have any questions. And then also, if you like, I make videos on budget lifestyle, basically my budget lifestyle and the goals that I'm trying to do. So if you would like to follow my journey further, feel free to subscribe. Until next time, hope this helped you out and made this a little more clear. All right, peace.